I think for me, one of the best things about Korea is safety. Coming from America, we have such a big gun culture there, so it's quite different. Yeah, just being here, I feel so safe walking by myself, walking late at night, and I don't feel that much at home, unfortunately. Also, the fact that I can just go to a cafe, leave my laptop, leave my phone,
Right.
leave my whole life on the table and go up and order and not think about it twice if it's going to get stolen or something. So that's something that personally I really love about life in Korea, that sense of like security and safety.
Yeah, no, I definitely noticed that when you go to study cafes. I see a lot of people go out to eat lunch because usually they stay at the cafe for like a certain amount of hours, but they leave everything behind and they just leave the cafe, and it's so different from what I'm used to. Normally in Norway we don't have any study cafes, it's not a thing. So usually you spend maybe 1.5 hours at the cafe. If you try to stay too long, and definitely if you leave your stuff behind and you walk out of the cafe, they will come after you.
It'll get stolen, right? Not in Korea. I love that.
Back in Norway, stuff closed pretty early. Like regular shops maybe close around like 10, 11 in the evening. Here it's whatever hour you need it. So if you're hungry in the middle of the night, you can go and buy food. And it's just very interesting because you have opportunity to do so much here. And I didn't have that in the beginning. So I found out that G-Market was a place where you could order your stuff. And it comes extremely fast. That's also something I really like about Korea, is how fast everything arrives. Even if I get a package from back home, as soon as it touches ground in Korea, it maybe takes like 1 to 2 days and I have it at my door. So that's pretty crazy. That would not happen in Norway.
As I mentioned, it's not so far and the culture is not really different. It's okay, like I don't really have to adjust or change a lot.
So Mick, are you a K-pop big fan?
Yeah, kind of.
So do you think you are getting closer with them?
Kind of, because when I was in Thailand, I have to wait for them until like they do the world tour, and I got to see them only like 2 hours and then done, and I have to wait for another year. But for here, I still can see them for when they do they have schedule, like they go to the radio or those stuff. So
Did you go to their concert or fan sign or like what?
I tried, but I didn't get it because the
it's so
fan sign-
competitive, right?
Yeah. Should I say this?
What?
I even bought
okay.
like 70 albums for the fan sign, but since it was like the drawing,
70?
yeah,
70?
70. Yeah,
To try and get into the fan sign?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Because they separate Korean and international fans. So the international fan would be like the number of it would be lower than Korean people.
How do you get into a fan sign? Is it not a ticket you buy?
No, you have to buy the albums, and for each album they'll give you the receipt, and then you put your name and put in the box, and they will draw it. And 70 albums, and I didn't get it. My friend only bought like 40.
Only?
No, I think 40 is like the very basic number because we are all international fans, so it's very competitive.
But is it different albums or is it same?
Same.
Wait, what do you do?
Two versions. I got to sell them like
Okay, you sold them
cheaper.
later.
But yeah, it's okay.
Gotcha.
So that's how K-pop got so popular.
Please don't do the subtitle in this part. My dad would found this.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Okay. I thought you were serious. I was like, okay. Your parents will be angry.
Yeah, they would be like, and then realize how much did you buy?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know
try.
that's how it worked. That's interesting.
Yeah. Maybe because I was so unlucky. There's supposed to be like many more fan signs, and some of them, if you buy a lot, they'll put your name in it, and if they see that you bought like many, so they'll just pick you. But for this one, due to the virus, so for this comeback, they only have one fan signing, and it was the hand drawing. So I didn't get it, but yeah.
Hopefully someday, right?
I hope so.
Next time.
It was my first time, and I didn't get it, so I kind of like sad.
Yeah.
And I'm so scared to try for the next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll have to buy all the albums again, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But I don't know if I want to try it. Please don't talk about it. It's like 16,000 won for each, I would say. But I have to sew them.
You sold them after.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Like to other fans.
Yeah,
You meet
yeah,
up with other
yeah.
fans and gotcha.
Okay. Then it's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's not like you have 70 albums and you're like,
I can't
laying
just
around.
keep 70 albums in my room.
Yeah.
That would be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And you know, like some other groups, the number of the album that you have to buy, it could be a lot like higher. For some group, my friend said the minimum it would be like at least 100.
oh.
What group?
Can we say it? Bangtan, BTS.
BTS. Okay. I know.
It's very competitive. So.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty smart marketing for K-pop or like Korean music to like,
Right.
like if you buy this certain amount, you're able to maybe meet us.
Yeah.
That's pretty good marketing. That's,
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
You didn't know. I knew it was competitive, but I didn't know like
Me too.
how it works.
I thought I was so confident that I would really get into the fan site. Like I will really get this because I bought like a lot.
Yeah.
But then I didn't.
Failed. Aww.
I just thought you bought the ticket, so because I think for some artists when they go on like worldwide tours and stuff, maybe smaller and bigger, you can buy like the VIP ticket and you like get to meet the artist before the concert or something. I'm guessing that's also why the community for it is so big also.
Yeah.
Because you have like all those people with a common interest
Yeah.
and everyone is just like trying to build it up and
Yeah.
try to get into the fan sign.
Yeah. I came to Korea like almost 5 years ago, and I'm from a very small town in Michigan. And like when I first came here, nobody really knew much about Korea in my hometown. People were, you know, curious and would ask me questions, but no one really knew much about Korea where I'm from. And then the last time I went home, it was hilarious because I was in the grocery store, and in my town everybody knows everybody. It's one of those places. And a lady that I kind of know came up and she said, "Oh, you're in Korea still, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Oh, my teenagers are so obsessed with K-pop and they're so interested in Korean culture, and you know, they're always watching Korean YouTubes and trying to learn the language." And I was so shocked because you know, it wasn't like that when I came here 4 years ago. And now even in my small town, you know, people are just talking about K-pop and Korean food now. And, you know, and it's kind of hilarious to me because some aspects of Korean culture that I learned about years ago, they're becoming so popular in the States now. Like all my friends in Michigan are suddenly going out for Korean barbecue and, you know, going to norebangs at home. And for them, it's so new and exciting. And for me, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so funny to watch that, you know? And I love it too because like, yeah, it's just cool being here and then having people at home, you know, getting to enjoy some of Korean culture as well. But it's just kind of like funny for me to watch that. Yeah. So yeah, it really shows how much Korea has gained popularity around the world. I was like quite scared. I remember thinking that my family was gonna freak out and, you know, be so worried about me. And I called them and they were not that worried. I think that a lot of my family and friends back home just didn't know what was heading their way.